Hello, friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Okay, I know it seems like it's been a couple days now since I've given you an update on my father, but the reality is I actually shot 2 vlogs yesterday, so that's why we're a little out of sync here. So this is actually tomorrow from the last time I gave you an update. Anyway, my father continues to improve. He's doing really well now, getting back to being his ornery old self again, fighting with the nurses and stuff like that, making sure he gets what he wants, and that's a good thing. The only real improvements that there are, the only real numbers to really talk about is they ran his blood pressure again today, and it was actually normal. His blood pressure was 126 over 60. That is the best that we've seen the entire time he's been here. As you remember, early on it was like 80 over 40 or 90 over 45 or something like that. So the blood pressure is looking really, really good. Also, when he'd get up, after being in bed for a while, the blood pressure would drop a little bit because it was the first time he'd been out of bed for a while. Today, when they got the 126 over 60 number, it was after he'd walked for a while. Now, you remember the last couple of days he's been getting on his feet a little bit. The first day he walked to the edge of the room and back. The next day he walked out of the room and into another wing of the hospital. The day after that, I wasn't there when he did it, but because I had left by the time the physical therapist got in there. But the physical therapist indicated that he'd walked basically from his room down to basically the elevator, and then back to his wing, to the end of his wing, and back to his room. They estimated he'd gone about 420 feet, which is probably 2 to 3 times what he'd gone the day before. Today, when he got back on his feet, he doubled it. He, broke his record again. We estimate he went nearly 700 feet. Basically, went out of his room, down to the end of his wing, into another wing of the hospital, to the end of that wing, back again, back through into his wing, to the end of that wing, and then back into his bedroom. So, he is improving by leaps and bounds. We're very, very thankful for that. In fact, the physical therapist today told me that since it's Friday and she's not going to be in either tomorrow or Sunday, that if I go in and visit tomorrow, it's okay for me to take him out for a walk. So we'll probably end up doing that tomorrow, and he seems really interested to keep breaking his record every day. So, that looks really good. We're still on track to have his TIPS procedure on Monday at noon, so we're grateful for that. And if everything continues to go well, he may be home by the middle of next week. So possibly, things are going very, very well. He might be home very, very soon. So we're very grateful for that. Anyway, that's really all I have to do, because like I said, he just keeps continuing to improve over and over and over again. So we're very happy about that. We're grateful beyond words for your continued prayers and support. So please keep those up. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night. Oh yeah, one little detail I forgot. When my father did his little marathon walk today, we tried to get the physical therapist to give us an estimate of how long of a distance that had been. And she thought it was about 700 feet. But when they were kind of working with my dad a little bit, I decided I'm going to go out and pace it out myself. And it actually turned out to be about 675 feet, which is really good. And the physical therapist wanted to know what that number was. So while I was out pacing it, she came back in, and I said, okay, well, I know how many paces it is, but I got to do the math to figure out what the exact distance was. And she had to go do something else, but she said she'd come back in a minute. She wanted to know what the real number was. So when she came back and I told her 675 feet, she said, wow, that's fantastic. And then she went off and kind of did her stuff again. And then she came back a few minutes later and said, when I entered in the records in his hospital file, I actually underreported what he had done, because I don't want any other doctors coming in, any other physical therapists coming in and saying, oh, he walked 675 feet today. We don't need to do any more physical therapy for him. So he's actually exceeding abilities to the point where the physical therapists are saying, yeah, we want to make sure that he keeps getting the physical therapy, and we don't want people, saying he doesn't need it anymore because he's doing so well. So, yeah, I wanted to give you that little detail. I thought that was interesting.